DC here. Hi, guys and gals. Well, it is Thursday. Yes, Thursday, and it's Thursday evening. Out of work. Mrs. DC is she's working, so she'll be home. It's 8:25 now in the evening, so she'll be home probably in about 3/4 of an hour to an hour. And I've just finished watching the news, and over here in Switzerland, we're pretty lucky actually, because we're coming out of that horrible virus thing. I say coming out doesn't mean we're out. I say coming out. But we've had new measures, and we're going to be able to have, starting Saturday already, be able to get up to a certain number of people together. And I think it's about 10, I think they said. And later on, in a few days, actually, probably in a week time, 6th of June, June 6th, yes, up to 30 people can get together. And later on, probably in July, something like that, up to, we'll be able to have like sporting events or things like that, or with up to 300 people. But the main thing is, you have to have a traceability. In other words, if you had a sporting event with 300 people, you'd have to be able to prove every person that was there. Now, I don't know how they're going to do that. I mean, sporting events are actually relatively simple with the tickets, maybe. I don't know how they're going to have to do it with open air events and things like that. But anyway, we'll see. But we're getting out of it. Is the virus gone? No, the virus will not be gone probably until there's a vaccine, or the thing is that now people are starting to get back together again. There'll certainly be sometimes some hot spots. Let's just hope that it stays at that. Yeah, so I hope that you are all, though, keeping well. I mean, it's an easy thing to say. I mean, we all have to get on with life, don't we? I mean, and there's work and everything, and some of us are lucky to have, I was going to say, good immune systems, but that does not mean that it's enough sometimes. Okay, let's talk about something else. Because of that, like I said, let's talk about something else, and I was just going to start talking about it again. I got an offer, was it 2 days ago? I got a mail from my internet provider, and I'm kind of worried every time I get a mail like it, because it said, we have a present for you. And I was thinking, oh geez, is this another scam that's going to ask me for my bank details or something like that? So I checked it out, checked the addresses, everything looked okay. So actually the present was actually a real one. It was a new, I had an HD box for the television. Actually, for the different televisions we have in the house, these were HD boxes. We've had them for a few years, and I mean, none of our televisions are 4K. I mean, the big one, which is a 55-inch, which is a big one. I mean, but it's still an HD. But anyway, this was a free gift, because I'd been with them for so long, for the Ultra HD, so the 4K type. And I thought, okay, given's given. So got it in the mail today, set it up. What it has that the other one didn't have, well, it's smaller already. It has voice control, which we will probably never use. And it has things like there are different apps, but for whatever reason, you couldn't use the Netflix app on the HD one. Don't ask me why. And on the UHD one, the Netflix app is there. So okay, that's nice. But I mean, we have an Apple TV, so we were using it that way. So it didn't really matter. What we do have since a few months now, we got Disney Plus. It was in Switzerland since a few months now. We quite like it, actually. I know Mrs. DC is the TV person here, but I watch The Simpsons. I know. It's funny when you talk with people. It's like, oh goodness! Like all the women say, no, we don't want to watch The Simpsons, and the guys do. It seems like it's a guy thing. I don't know. You tell me about it. Anyway, so what I did finish though on Netflix was the. I don't know how many of you remember the old She-Ra and He-Man series. Well, Netflix started. Would be 2 years ago, maybe less than that actually. Even though they call it season 5 now, they're such short seasons. They made a reboot of the She-Ra thing, and and when I say a reboot, I shouldn't even call it. They just happen to cheat and use the same names and things like that because it's basically a reason to do an LGBTQ series, and that really is. I'm not saying it's not good. It was actually quite an interesting, quite a good show, but I found that there wasn't all that much related to the other one. The old She-Ra He-Man was completely different to this one. But like I say, it's not a bad show. It's not great, but it's definitely it's a showpiece for showing off the LGBTQ stuff. But anyway, it's a good one, and it actually, one thing though that's different is that it lasts 5 little seasons as they call it, but at the end of the season it was over. That was like the end of the show, which is kind of interesting, and it finished well. Anyway, I won't give off any spoilers more than what I just said already, but if you're into that, you might enjoy it. Actually, it's not bad. One of the seasons was pretty weak, but overall it was pretty enjoyable. And I had been watching. Let me see, on YouTube. Aside from looking at my subs, I've been looking at old shows from Quebec from the late 50s, early 60s. That my dad my grandmother used to watch, and I've been enjoying actually watching these as well. They're called Les Belles Histoires des Pays d'en Haut. If you've not lived in Quebec, don't even bother. You won't understand what's going on. But it's something that basically started from a radio show in the 40s about a man who was very avaricious, so very much into money, and basically was holding everybody by the neck. And he married the most lovely lady in the village, but the reason that he married her is that he basically was going to how is it again? Her father had mortgaged her all that he owned. There was something like that. It was already, like I say, in the 40s, and she saved her father. Basically, that was the deal. I will, not come and get you for your mortgage and everything as long as you give me your daughter. And that was the basis of the story. And there was another parallel love affair. I mean, she was of course in love with somebody else, and so that was this eternal triangle. But it's kind of fun. It's almost like a theater piece the way it's done. And I don't know, maybe it's the nostalgia of going over things that we used to watch when I was a kid or whatever. I'm trying to remember. Maybe it was just before. Maybe it was in the week, or maybe it was before the hockey games or stuff like that. Maybe not. I don't remember now. Yeah, so things like that. So when I have my lunch break, sometimes I go and I get on my bench and use my phone as a hotspot and watch some of these YouTube stuff on my bench over lunch. So it's kind of good. It's kind of nice spending time. So I was wondering, there's a lot of stories. Oh goodness, I'm already up to that. 9 minutes. I'm going to stop. I was going to ask you what you've been doing over these, lockdown periods. Maybe you can tell me in the comments, because a lot of people are really, getting into other activities. So tell me about it. Okay, I guess that'll be it. DC's going to be signing off because I don't want to spend much more than 10 minutes. It's too long. Okay, bye-bye. Take care.